I mean, you know, in terms of being picturesque, an unbelievable scene at the Carrier Classic, playing on an aircraft carrier, sunset.
President there.
President there, all the servicemen there. But it wasn't a great game. Yesterday was as well played an offensive game as I've seen so far on national TV.
And a big part of that was the man who just passed off to Smythe, Scott Machado, his first assist already.
And that would be why Smythe is inserted in the lineup, and that would be why Scott Machado averaged nearly 8 assists a game and had 11 yesterday.
Well, Doug, for all of the NBA scouts in attendance here this week in San Juan, Scott Machado certainly got their attention yesterday.
No doubt about it. I mean, they had seen him and playing in New York City. You know, a lot of them came to see Michael Glover, you know, his talented center, power forward, just a scoring machine, 18 and 10 last year. But I think Machado's ability to consistently hit his jump shot, something he's done at a better tick every year he's been at Iona, as well as his ability to just command and control a game with the speed, quickness, and ball handling. In a year in which the point guard position is a little down for the upcoming NBA draft, Machado has definitely stuck out.
And his level of conditioning is at an all-time high. Now he's got 2 assists, and we're not even 50 seconds into the ball game. Mike Glover with his first 2. And Machado defending here on Mike Douglas, now backs off. Machado lost about 12 pounds from a year ago, and again trying to get himself suited for the style of play that his new head coach last year, Tim Kluse, wanted for him to play. Machado clears the miss off the shot by Ward. Do I hear 3 assists? Demetrius Ward. They will keep possession. The ball went out of bounds off of Iona. And there is Scott Machado, 6'1" senior from Queens who went to St. Benedict's Prep School in New Jersey.
What's maybe the most interesting part of the Machado story is the fact that he actually played for Tim Kluse his 9th grade year in high school.
Yep.
And then ends up going to high school. You know, Kluse ends up leaving and, you know, coaching at Stony Brook. And he goes to St. Benedict's, goes to Iona, and lo and behold, who eventually becomes his coach? But Tim Kluse.
Which is what, 7 years later?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of time that passed. Now, Kluse was a long time, hugely successful high school coach on Long Island at St. Mary's, which is in Manhasset. He won 4 New York State titles there, and of course, Danny Green, who went on to play at North Carolina, was his best player at that time. And Machado was only there the 1 year before he went on, but that was quite a program. And Tim Kluse is very tied to Long Island. There's a reason why. Because of family issues, he never wanted to leave Long Island. Just going to New Rochelle to take the Iona job was a big deal because he has always been at either St. John's or Hofstra or on Long Island at every level. Taj Ridley, who was so good yesterday, misses on his first attempt for the Gales. Bernard Whitfield has it knocked away, and here comes Momo Jones with Machado. They worked in tandem well right there.
The speed and quickness of Iona is unlike any team I've seen so far this year. I mean, just explosive with the basketball. And you have Momo Jones and Scott Machado, and then, you know, it's not like off the bench they got a bunch of slugs either. And then, you know, inside Glover, really active low post play.
Hutchison knows, Smythe the rebound, and here come the Gales. Tough pass. Western Michigan got off to a slow start in yesterday's game against Temple, falling behind 9-0. So far here in this one, down 7-0.
Now, if they can turn the offense over side to side, Iona does lose their... They don't have a great attention span, a little defensive ADD, if you will.
For instance?
Well, that's just the initial thrust. Generally, they'll stop you initially. Then they're right back at you.
Machado can't get the roll. Whitfield clears. Steal by Smythe. Good hustle. Back to Machado. The guards don't hold it out. They keep attacking and score. Numbers again, and Glover picks up the foul.
Kyle Smythe inserted into the starting lineup, and he comes out first touch, hits a three, then gets a steal, gets another bucket.
Well, he was 13 preseason All-Conference in the Metro Atlantic Athletic and is a regular starter, but came off the bench in yesterday's first-round game so that Sean Armand could get the start. We will see plenty of Sean, I imagine, here this afternoon.
Yeah, Armand only really played the first 5 minutes of each half, and then Smythe is one of those, not how you start, how you finish. Who's finishing the game?
Now, Tim Cluse just raves about Kyle Smythe. He loves having him in this backcourt that is really loaded now with the addition of Momo Jones, who was granted a waiver from the NCAA, so he was immediately eligible upon coming back east to Iona.
Sick grandma and part of the hardship waiver. A chance to play right away, just like transferring from Arizona where he went to Elite Eight last year. Same thing happened to Hutchison yesterday, where he's a very good athlete, but laterally he struggles to adjust when there's a man in his way. He got called for a charge yesterday on the opposite side of the exact same basket.
We talk about the coaching background for Machado, those he has played for. He also played at St. Benedict's for Danny Hurley. Now, of course, the head coach at Wagner, doing nice things on Staten Island.
He was in an amazing team, though, at St. Ben's. I mean, a remarkable team. Taking the backcourt that they had Tristan Thompson at the time before he transferred to Findlay Prep, was the #1 player in the country in the junior class. The Canadian, of course, went on to Findlay Prep, then went to Texas and was a first-round draft pick, top 5 pick in the NBA draft. Zach Rosen, who's starring this year for Penn. It's a star-studded team for St. Ben's.
4 minutes in our second game on day 2 of the 5-hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off here in San Juan. Blocking foul called against Kyle Smythe. And that'll take us to our first media timeout. Quick start for the Gales, and again it's Scott Machado picking up assists one after another. This time he scores on the assist from Momo Jones.
John Mapes is 42, mortgage, married, 2 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. John can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $25 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll search the pick of insurers like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. John's wife, Carrie, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or visit SelectQuote.com.
Back in San Juan, Puerto Rico for this big MAC attack, the Mid-American Conference, Western Michigan against the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, Iona. And we've been talking a lot about the Gale senior point guard, Scott Machado. There is Momo Jones, his new running mate in the backcourt for the Gales. And Machado is the top returning assist man in the country. He was #2 overall last year, but of the guys coming back for 2011, he is #1.
And of course, DJ Cooper plays for Ohio U in the MAC, so Western Michigan's going to see them. And DJ Cooper played in the Sweet 16 for Ohio U. Remember, they upset Georgetown the first round 2 years ago. The 9th seed in the MAC tournament ended up going all the way to the Sweet 16, winning the MAC championship in Cleveland. MAC this year, Kent State's already beaten West Virginia, at West Virginia.
The Mid-American is good.
Yeah, Akron beat Mississippi State, where Mississippi State looked outstanding last night. In a win over Texas A&M.
Good defense by the Gales. Stainbrook off the mark. Shot clock continues to wind down, but now the Gales get possession. Glover. Zouvre's pass deflected to the backcourt. Machado retreats. Stainbrook with the steal. Lazy pass from Machado, and Glover winds up giving up the foul.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to give an assessment of Iona, I mean, look, Iona's season is going to come down to a couple of things in terms of their ability to get to an NCAA tournament. And the main point I would make to Tim Kluse's team is you got to clean up this little stuff. You can't have Stainbrook running through a pass. You know, between sometimes the attention to detail defensively, offensively, it's those little things, because the likelihood that they get an at-large spot at Iona, despite their talent, is not great. And so you got to win your conference tournament.
Indeed, the history says that in the history of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, more than 30 years now, only one at-large bid has been given.
I mean, you know, Siena would have been very much in the bubble during their run of 4 years in a row, and every year, despite playing at home in the conference tournament, they still struggled to put away conference gold. Matter of fact, and they had to come from, I think, 17 down to beat Fairfield, Fan McCaffrey's last year there 2 years ago. So those little things. Well, Keystone Cops routine.
Momo says no.
Yeah.
He's all right, though.
Effort is clearly there.
Yep.
Effort has not been necessarily an issue. It's, you know, little attention to detail items, so that when you have a day in your conference tournament, when you're not shooting well, when somebody gets into foul trouble, you have an injury, you don't get upset by an inferior opponent, because they're a marvelously talented team.
They're the preseason pick in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference ahead of Fairfield.
And which I was surprised by before I saw that, because, you know, with Rakim Sanders now eligible for Fairfield, with all the talent they have coming back, I understood Sidney Johnson coming over from Princeton to coach him. It's a difference in style. I was surprised, though, until I saw Iona in person. And of all the teams that the other coaches are talking about, to a man, everyone has said, how talented is Iona? How fast do they get the ball up and down the floor? How many different weapons do they have?
Diggs Moikobu has come into the ball game for Iona.
You were waiting for that, weren't you?
I've been waiting for 2 days. He didn't get into yesterday's game. And Diggs is a 6'7" junior from Seattle, Washington.
Rainier Beach.
And just embarking on his Division I career.
Seattle has become a high school talent wellspring.
Shane Whittington with his first 2 points here today.
Another three. Kyle Smythe, he just, you can tell that he was motivated by coming off the bench yesterday.
And he is capable of filling it up. He went for 8 3-pointers in a game at Albany last year.
Look at how quick the release is. Up, not a hitch, bang. And of course, Scott Machado saying, I believe that's an assist. I'm not sure they really created that shot. Kind of created it for yourself, but any pass that leads directly to a basket goes down as a dime. Scorekeeper marked me down for one.
Hayden Horteman comes in for the first time for Western Michigan, replacing Mike Douglas, one of the 3 seniors from Detroit who have been the core of Steve Hawkins' program for the last 4 years.
Steve Hawkins using his entire bench. He's searching for something offensively. It's the Bronx struggling to score.
Again, the quick catch and release. Already into double figures.
Feeling.
And the full court pressure by Iona forces a Western Michigan turnover.
Well, first, if you're Scott Machado, and Machado's obviously done this the past 2 times down, you got a guy running a fever, you find a way to get him the ball. Secondly, I'm guessing we're going to see a heat check at some point here from Kyle Smythe.
Well, David Brown has just come off the bench to try and slow down Kyle Smythe.
That is a heat check.
Steps out a little bit farther. Couldn't make it 3 in a row. And here's Brown at the other end.
Maybe the most amazing part about how on his shooting is both teams only got 20 minutes to warm up.
Our first game here ran very, very long. Ward went up as if to shoot. Instead tried to pass to a teammate. Shot clock continues to wind down at 5. Brown has to fire away. Moikobu, rather than just grabbing the loose ball, winds up getting whistled for the foul. Well, this Western Michigan team is the preseason pick in the Mid-American Conference West Division. They have won 5 MAC West titles during the Steve Hawkins era, including last year. We also get our first look there at Josh Gomez coming into the game. But a lot is expected in Kalamazoo with this club.
Shane Winningham with the and one. Winningham read that screen so well. Smythe leaks out and helps on the shooter. He ends up, Whittington, excuse me, slipping in there and getting the bucket. You know, Whittington didn't get a bunch of minutes, and in talking to Steve Hawkins, he said, I'm just not, we haven't played well yet this year. Lost to South Dakota, lost yesterday. You know, weren't really challenged in their preseason slate, their exhibition games. He said he's going to use all the guys that aren't wearing a jersey today.
Well, that senior core, especially the backcourt, Douglas and Ward yesterday. Douglas was 0 for 7 with 4 turnovers. Ward was 1 for 8.
Now, Ward just shot that basketball with great confidence and great arch. See if that gets him going.
Well, that's as many field goals as the two of them combined for yesterday, which was 1. So obviously Steve Hawkins needs those 2 guys to get going. Machado slips away from the defender into the lane, puts it up. No. Ridley tipped it out, and somehow Machado got it to Jones, who traveled. Sloppy set there.
But it's that erratic pace that Iona really likes to push you and kind of make you out of rhythm. But you know, credit Demetrius Ward. Didn't play well yesterday. Hits a 3. Broncos hanging around.
I don't want to get up. I don't want to go to work. I hate mornings. Great, I have 20 minutes. No time for coffee. Hello, my friend.
Can't get it together in the morning? Try 5-Hour Energy. It's simple, effective, and unlike coffee, it's ready right now. No waiting, no hassle.
Let's do this.
5-Hour Energy, the no-wait, no-hassle way to a great morning.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number or visit our website. A free idea kit and DVD will be sent to your home so you can discover all the benefits of owning your own pool. Compared to traditional pools, endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Our precision-engineered pools enable you to swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed and ability. Endless pools are perfect for year-round health and fitness, relaxation, and family fun. Our free idea kit and DVD will show you how easy it is for the whole family to enjoy a pool right in your backyard or home. An endless pool or an endless pool swim spa can become a showplace for your home. Call our toll-free number or visit the website to find out more about endless pools. The free idea kit will show you just how easy it is to be able to swim at home.
Welcome back to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Along with Doug Gottlieb, I'm Doug Sherman. Iona's lead has been cut to 4. Western Michigan, after another slow start here today, as they did yesterday against Temple, has chipped away to get back into it. And this is a Western Michigan team, as mentioned, picked to win its division this year in the Mid-American Conference.
Well, and that's based on the success they've had recently, based on the success they had last year winning their division. Look at the preseason poll. Remember, it's the West Division. That does not include the likes of Akron. Ball State, of course, went down and gave Arizona a very good game. Billy Taylor, former Notre Dame star, did a tremendous job at Lehigh, took them to the NCAA tournament. Now has rebuilt that program in Muncie, Indiana. I think they're the most competitive team with Western Michigan. But in talking to Steve Hawkins, he just really feels, look, we need to find a lineup or some lineups that work. We just have not clicked, not played nearly as well as I would have liked. Matter of fact, he said I couldn't find a 5-minute stretch in which we played really good basketball yet this year.
Which after they had the struggles in their opener at South Dakota State, he seemed to just chalk it up as Ridley scores. Chalk it up to, well, it's the first game. We're trying to get the kinks out. But then when it continued yesterday, when you've got 5 returning starters and that core that has been so good for the last 3 years, it is a little bit surprising that they've had this long a stretch not playing better.
Especially with the veterans. Ward, Whitfield, Douglas. He thought he would get better leadership and, frankly, better play from the 3 Detroit-born seniors.
As well, he should expect that. Under 10 seconds to shoot. Ward puts it in. Machado tried to draw the charge, didn't get the call, and that left Ward open for the easy look.
Be interesting to see if Ward hitting that first 3. Now he gets a runner. That kind of gets him going.
Armand into the ball game. It rolls out. Here's Whitfield on the post. Spins to the baseline, but misfires. And Ridley, who had a double-double in his Division I debut yesterday, pulls down another rebound.
Matt Painter really impressed with Ridley. So too were the Temple coaches. They did not know Ridley was that good. Very skilled offensive player. Sometimes offensive to defensive subs, they were taking him out. But down low in the mid-post, skill with the basketball.
Here is Ridley. It rattles out on him. Brown open look. A little bit short. Nice job by Smythe, who has
great
been
box out and nice pass.
And DeZouvre able to finish, and now a chance for 3.
Now, Kyle Smythe is having himself quite a ball game. It's not just the rebound, it's the box out, which leads to the rebound.
Right on the money.
Leonard Whitfield simply just got pushed out of the way by Smythe. Pushes him under the basket with his backside, gets the ball, one dribble, throws it up the court, and DeZouvre gets a chance to finish the 3-point play.
And DeZouvre played well yesterday in the loss to Purdue, scoring 8 points off the Iona bench.
Really
and completes the 3-point play. Sure is.
Very athletic 4 that allows them to switch to where he can even guard a point guard on a 1-4 ball screen.
He played a couple of years at Monroe College in the Bronx. Strong finish by Whittington. He's now got 6.
The Paw Paw, Michigan product.
Love that town's name. Armand tries again, this time well short. DeZouvre up and over the top of Austin Ritchie for that rebound. Armand will try again from the right side, and he is now 0 for 3.
Didn't miss by much.
And that a lot of times will dictate whether Tim Kluse leaves him on the floor or not. You hit your first 1 or 2, you're out there. You don't, you're coming back.
Well, you got 2 in 1 possession, although Momo Jones set and check in. Wonder if he's checking in for Armand.
Haven't heard from Stainbrook on the offensive end yet. He comes in as the leading scorer this year.
Well, he's got a big body, but he needs to learn to sit down on those younger players, on those smaller players. Now Ridley switches off on him.
Shot clock at 3. Douglas, the leaner, off the glass and out. Good defensive stand for the Gales, and here comes Machado. Head up as always. Off to Armand, a rare 2-point try, and he will go to the free throw line.
Now here's the problem with what Douglas did. Okay, he takes a shot he has to take, but then he goes and tries to get his offensive rebound, and that allows Machado to just push and no one to stop the basketball. It's one of those deals where when you're playing pickup basketball, you're playing 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 in the driveway or in the gym. You know, something that you follow your shot. Not when you're a point guard. You never, unless you're going to get it 100% of the time, you don't follow your shot. Mike Douglas's play is the perfect example why.
Two seconds to get across. They just barely make it. Here goes Stainbrook. The Iona bench wanted a walk. Tim Kluse left the ground.
I don't know why Whitfield did not just take the initial jump shot, a little 7-footer.
There's a travel. Jones took an extra step before he put the ball to the deck.
Second time he's done that. He did that yesterday in a big spot as well. Momo's so used to playing with the ball in his hands. Even last year, you know, he was Arizona's second leading scorer, but that's not as big a deal as it would normally be. I mean, you had Derek Williams averaging over 20 points a game. He averaged just under 10 points a game. But still, playing the point guard spot, he's so used to playing with the ball in his hands. It's a very different feel to be catching that first pass.
Armand back to Jones. And it rattles out. That's at least the third time for Iona. Had one that looked like it was halfway down.
Nate Hutchinson's got to be strong with the ball. He just lost that last possession. And of course he gets called for a push. A good call. He's struggling.
Timeout here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Iona has a 6-point lead over Western Michigan. Back to the Coliseo de Puerto Rico right after this.
You want to own a brand new HP, Dell, or other name brand computer? If so, Tronics Country says you're approved, guaranteed.
I wanted a new computer, but I couldn't get financed. Then I called Tronics Country. They approved me, delivered my new computer.
If you have an active checking account and can afford low, flexible payments, you're already approved, guaranteed, for this special offer. There's no credit check, so you won't be turned down.
Tronics Country approved me quickly.
I got instant approval, and it was easy. Their flexible payment plans made it easy on my budget. And my kids are getting ahead in school.
I've started my own business, and now I'm my own boss.
Call now, and with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and free LCD TV. You heard right. Free printer, free MP3 player, and free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gifts shipped today.
I'm glad I called.
Call 800-804-2960 now.
Attention all homeowners, do you want help today? Call the Loan Modification Help Hotline now. We may be able to cut your mortgage payment in half and help to reduce your interest payment to as low as 1%. Find out what we can do for you today. The call is free. The consultation is free. Discover how much we can reduce your mortgage payment. Call now for a free consultation. We have trained staff ready to assist you.
Call 888-507-3582.
Along with Doug Gottlieb, I'm Doug Sherman back in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where Iona, as advertised, running and gunning up by 6 over Western Michigan in the second round game.
And this is called the who me play. Who me?
Who me?
Me? We'll take you inside the play. All right, so we were talking about Nate Hutchinson, how he was just called for a foul. Now, as the ball goes inside out against his zone, this is good offense from Western Michigan. You know, ball goes inside to Matt Stainbrook. Outside for the jump shot. Keep an eye on Scott Machado, number 3, and Nate Hutchinson. Well, that's a foul. So now he turns to the ref and he says, "What? Who, me? No way, no way. That he acted. That was not a. Come on, man."
Those 2 forearms to his back had nothing to do with him flying out of bounds.
Yes, I mean Machado made it more obvious, flying a little bit, but you extend both forearms. Who, me? No way. Come on, ref.
Man. Jones to the high post. Catch and shoot on the turnaround by Ridley. Demetrius Ward waiting for a teammate. Finds Douglas on the wing, who can't connect. And Whitfield's going to be whistled for the foul. Well, again, here we are 13 minutes into the first half, and that group of Douglas, Ward, Whitfield, we're still waiting to see them get going.
But it's been better. That was a very good defensive effort. Ward has, those 2 consecutive made field goals. I mean, really, it's Stainbrook and Whitfield and Douglas, because at least Ward has played better, and collectively as a team defensively. They've been able to withstand, really, Kyle Smythe so far, and a couple of transition buckets.
Mike Glover on the bench with 2 personals for Iona, the preseason Metro Atlantic Player of the Year. Momo Jones finally gets one to fall. The junior from Harlem has 3 points.
Tim Klu's going to establish himself as a guy that people want to play for because he gives players the freedom to shoot through some misses.
Stainbrook to the left hand, a little strong. Wrestling match down to the post. Whitfield, you can see, is getting frustrated. It's DeZouvre who wound up on the deck.
And while DeZouvre's athletic, he's really only about 6'3", maybe 6'4". Whitfield just used his strength, his body. He was 6'11" list, probably 6'6" and a half or so. But a man physically, and he kind of just shed DeZouvre away.
Well, you mentioned how Tim Klus allows his players to play through mistakes. When you are being recruited as a player, how important is something like that,
Huge.
Doug?
Huge. I remember very few of these guys he recruited.
Right. But going forward,
oh yeah,
when you're in someone's home,
but
you make
he
that
recruited
clear.
Momo Jones, and I'm sure he told Momo, whereas previously he played for Sean Miller at Arizona. Sean Miller doesn't have a quick hook, but there were times when he'd become frustrated with Momo Jones. Momo would sit for big stretches. And the selling point is we're going to play a style of play you want. We're going to play
10-second violation.
That's on Mike Douglas, really, or Demetrius Ward. I don't like that they have Whitfield bringing it up because he has no feel as a ball handler. And he's just walking the ball up the court, walking it up, and then he picks up his dribble. And I would split the court with Ward and Douglas, and then get somebody like a Whitfield in the high post to kind of flash in there.
Rashad James is checked into the lineup for Iona as Momo Jones is called for a 3rd traveling violation.
Travels every time he gets it. He's going to have to adjust to the officiator.
And Jones continues to question the officials. What am I doing?
Moving 2 feet before you dribble. That would be the... The first 2 were really obvious. That one was fairly obvious. I think it was did you think it was a bad call?
No.
Okay.
I thought all 3 were travels. Certainly in the basketball that we learned a long time ago, they were travels. Machado makes a bad pass between 2 teammates, and it goes into the Western Michigan bench.
That's only a bad pass if he wasn't passing it to Matt Stainbrook. That was a very good look for Stainbrook. Stainbrook has to be ready. See, I'm always on the...
You're right.
You know how...
You're right. You're a point guard.
You know how Dilfer and Hasselbeck are always on the quarterback side? That pass was to Matt Stainbrook. He felt bad. The big fella hadn't gotten any touches in the low post.
Spoken like a guy who had nearly 1,000 career assists in his college career.
Yeah, Demetrius Ward is
you're right.
up a little bit. He's warming up a little bit.
And you know that once you knock one down, you start to feel it a little bit. Breaking the action for one of the Gales to work on his sneaker.
Ward was a 2nd-team preseason All-MAC. A league that traditionally has undersized bigs, combo guards. Why would it's like the Big Ten light, Why does the Big Ten not recruit a Demetrius Ward? Well, if he's 3 inches taller, he's a Big Ten 2 guard. There's Ward, a little mid-range pull-up.
There's the ankle turn.
Yep. Todd Ridley played so well yesterday in his first college game. Turns that ankle. That would be a little bit more swollen tomorrow.
And he tried to talk his way into staying in the game. He's waited long enough to play Division I basketball. He doesn't want to go out. As you say, Machado with the little runner. Smythe, another near steal, and yes, the Gales had it. Machado with a chance for 3. This combination has been lethal for the Gales.
Well, that's Demetrius Ward. Now I see why he's not bringing the ball up against the press. He picks the ball up, throws it in the backcourt, almost creates the fast break for Machado, and end-to-end speed. There are very few players in college basketball with the end-to-end speed of Scott Machado. Mike Douglas just had a disadvantage. You almost have to let him go there.
And so Coach Hawkins, the 9th-year head coach at Western Michigan, again has his team down big early. Yesterday fell behind Temple and had to try and play catch-up. Never really made a run at the Owls. Now they're stuck 28-17. And there you see Tim Kloos, year number 2 as head coach at Iona College.
And it's interesting, the movement within the Metro Atlanta. You know, you go back 5-6 years ago, Steve Burt Jr. at Iona, they were the best team in the league. Then all of a sudden they can't win a game, and now Siena wins it 4 years in a row. Fairfield kind of in tow. The Riders always just been hanging around. Niagara had a couple of years going back 3 years ago in which they were competitive. They were up at the top of the league. Now Niagara's at the bottom. Siena's at the bottom. This looks like an Iona team that not only can win it this year, but with Momo Jones coming back next year, has a chance to be competitive again.
It is really hard to sustain at that major level, and a lot of that sometimes has to do with the fact that you can't keep a coach, because as soon as you do well, the coach is going to get offers for more money.
Case in point, Barry McCaffrey.
That's not always the case. It's not the way it always works, but it certainly plays into it more often than not. 10 to shoot, and so Mike Douglas fires and misses the mark. Carey against Rashad James.
Iona switches their little matchup zone where they'll just kind of switch every screen. Woodfield has to make that shot. It's a strong move and a good finish, but he's got to make it. Well, yesterday it was Jamel Jenkins coming off the bench. Today it's Rashad James getting a chance to be their off the bench scorer.
Ward didn't even catch the rim.
From Fernard Woodfield. He caught that basketball. He's underneath. They were face guarding him, if you will, trying to push him out. He grabbed it with one hand, left hand, and just managed to keep it up on the rim. His last free throw, though, was a stone cold brick. Got to knock a couple down, get this thing back under 10.
Whitfield out of Martin Luther King High School in Detroit. Honorable mention, All Mid-American Conference a year ago. Looks good on the first foul shot attempt. Good to see Ridley walking better, getting back into the ball game.
2 years ago, a bit player to the last year for David Kuhl. Kuhl, of course, the MAC Player of the Year going back 2010. Now on the bench as a full-time assistant.
Dangerous pass taken away by the Broncos. Portman and Ward in the backcourt along with Brown. Swing it to the corner for Hutchison. A lot of contact down the shot by Smythe with no call.
Terrible shot. He had Whitfield rolling wide open to the bucket.
Lob it up. Another assist for Scott Machado on the slam by Rashad James. The quick answer at the other end. Portman's first points. 33-20 Iona. And another quick answer. Ridley rather, with his first points of the day.
And Ridley still playing despite rolling that ankle. The faster you play, the more Iona likes playing at that speed. I mean, just
officials timeout.
If you just time it, it's like 3 seconds. They throw the ball up the court. They get running. The Gales. That is a point guard. Woo! Rashad James, the D2 transfer for the finish.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 1-800-590-6974. That's 1-800-590-6974.
Listen up, America!
Listen up, America. I'm talking to anyone with or without a pre-existing medical condition. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. But here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans. And yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could have a choice of affordable health plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-232-6082. That's 800-232-6082.
There are a few looks at Old San Juan, not far from where we sit here at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico. Just a beautiful city, and that's the old part of the city. Old San Juan, as the name would tell you, and the architecture there dates back centuries. And as Doug mentioned earlier, if your alma mater, the school you root for, is in this tournament field next year, the year after, it is well worth your time to get yourself down here for the Puerto Rico tip-off.
And there's so many non-stops. Don't have to change currency. Weather's always nice. Out of hurricane season. Do I need to keep going?
Well, you get a chance to see your favorite team play 3 games in 4 days as well.
Cable TV.
Some of the
white
best.
sand beaches. Rainforest.
Not bad.
Bernard Whitfield. He should have a big night, especially Glover when he gets back in the second half, playing with foul trouble. See, now that's the knock against Machado, is the inability to hit that perimeter jumper, especially off the dribble. Because as explosive as he is in transition, if you don't have to guard him on a ball screen, especially much ball screen action as they run in the NBA, it limits your professional upside. And Whitfield again.
Jones tries to thread the needle, can't do it. Brown knocked it out of bounds, but Iona fortunate to keep it. Who was that pass for, Doug?
I think that one was to James, but even Ridley. Taj Ridley's in his second Division I college game, and he looked at Momo Jones, who played in the Elite Eight last year. It's like, slow it down.
Off the inbound, they get a good look, but James couldn't hit.
But that is Momo Jones. He's a high-risk, high-reward guy between his shot selection and his pass selection.
Ward working on Jones, took him right to the basket.
Ward is kind of a beefy, strong combo guard.
Ward picks up the foul after having just scored his 9th point rather.
I mean, Ward is 215 pounds. Stocky, strong, good mid-range scorer, more than long-range shooter. Although he can't hit the 3, hit one earlier.
He's a guy who is a role player at best his first 2 years. Only had 1 start between his freshman and sophomore seasons, but then last year was asked to step up, and he did.
Well, of course, he's behind David Kuhl, who was the MAC Player of the Year in 2010, Player of the Decade in the MAC. So when that's your best player and he plays your position, that's going to limit your minutes.
And again, the Iona full court pressure causing Western trouble.
I know they're quick and they got great hands, but the problem here for Western is they're attacking it like it's a true zone defense, a zone press. What you have to do is you have to make a second man not come to you and double team you, but at least commit, take a step in your direction before you pass the basketball.
Great hustle by James to avoid the turnover. And then the foul called by Western Michigan. Jones and Ridley still discussing that missed pass that looked for sure like another turnover.
Yep.
Second foul on Hordeman as we see the terrific hustle by James to keep his team from turning it over.
I mean, so much of it is just body language. You know, it's obviously a mistake by Ridley. And so Jones, you know, sticks his hands up in the air, and you can't have it. You can't have it. You're better off when you're a guard, especially a guy who's played at the level that Lamont Jones has played at, Momo Jones has played at, from Oak Hill Academy, then to Arizona, and now to Iona. It's better off if you just say, hey, my bad, my fault, even if it's not. And then when there's a timeout, you pull Taj Ridley aside and said, if you're going to break out, you got to commit, because you're hanging me out to try. I got to be able to read you.
I got 0. I got 33 still.
Stainbrook has come back into the ball game for Western Michigan as Machado looks to make his second. And again, pressure in the backcourt by the Gales. Under 2 minutes remaining first half.
So you just have to make a second player take a step towards you. If not, then it's just a basic man press. No one should take the basketball from him. Now they're in a matchup zone. Ball needs to go into low post or high post every possession, especially with Lamont Jones playing down low in the zone.
Three-point shot by Ward, who really has heated up. A dozen points now for the senior out of Pershing High School in Detroit. Jones, quick trigger, has barely nicked the iron. Ward off the mark. Still working, though. And this is a big point in the ball game for Western Michigan to chip away and make it a little more reasonable at halftime. Big break for the Gales. Somehow the ball deflected off of the hand of James and into the hoop.
And James is an interesting story. A non-qualifier out of high school who's a D2 transfer, so he had to sit out. Just a spectacular athlete. Not a ton of pure basketball skill. There's no real position. Just a freak athlete.
He was a star at Division II, St. Thomas Aquinas, then sat out his transfer year last year before becoming eligible for Iona this year. Interesting, Doug, that we have not seen Jermel Jenkins off the Iona bench.
Yeah, he played so well in the first half yesterday. And it appears that James has taken his minutes. You see, again, Bernard Whitfield just kind of throwing the ball up when he's got a good shot. I don't know if that was the charge. Only in that Smythe seemed to be also moving forward, not establishing position. Check this out. Okay, so here's the difference, high major, mid-major. Now, one of the big frustrations in my life, and you call mid-major games as well, is when they don't have names in the back of their shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? But now, Iona does. But here's the difference. Look at Machado, who played last year. Okay? And then look at Momo Jones and James and the new players. The lettering is different. In other words, the big programs, they get new jerseys every year. Iona, well, Machado's using the same jersey as last year. Momo Jones and James, they're using new lettering, same jersey.
Yeah, you saw Smythe, who was here the last couple of years.
You can
Machado
tell
the last couple of years.
You don't even. You can tell, like, I already know that Ridley. There's Jones. Okay, look at the back of Ridley, number 0. You know, you look at the back of Ridley, like, oh, the lettering's small as well. He must be a new guy.
Yeah.
New guy letters.
And you're right, you wouldn't see that at Purdue.
No.
Machado. You talk about the freak athlete.
I told you,
my
just a
God.
freak. He was putting on a show yesterday. So I grabbed a couple of their assistants. I said, you got to tell me about James. Wow, another turnover.
Rashad James with the dunk of the day. Holy smokes. He came flying out of nowhere. And that obviously a set play coming out of the stoppage of play.
Just a freak.
He is 6'1".
Yeah, and it's really hard generally for right-handers to catch a lob from the left side. It's more natural to catch it from the right side. And that wasn't even a good pass. It was below the rim, on his right hand, and he still got it up and dunked it.
And he is so relatively short, you couldn't even see it coming from where I sat. You saw Machado was lobbing it up for somebody. You didn't know who was going to go get it, and all of a sudden, number 4 goes soaring into the air. Shot clock off, 10 seconds remaining in the half. Jones gives to Machado. Smythe off the curl. The tip at the horn won't go. About the only thing that didn't go right for James off the bench for the Gales.
We wondered why Jamel Jenkins didn't play. There's our answer. I mean, they keep bringing in waves of guys that are quick, athletic, get after you defensively, and find unique ways to score.
Iona can put up points. 42 in the first half. They head to the locker room with a 42-29 lead over Western Michigan. Back to San Juan with our halftime report after this.
People choose 5-Hour Energy now over 9 million times a week for lots of reasons. It's a nutritional supplement that really works. Its key ingredients are found in everyday food like avocados, broccoli, and bananas, or already in you. It contains about as much caffeine as a cup of the leading premium coffee. 0 sugar, 4 calories. What will your reason be for choosing 5-Hour Energy? Its effectiveness? Its beneficial ingredients? There's only one way to know. Try it today.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number or visit our website. A free idea kit and DVD will be sent to your home so you can discover all the benefits of owning your own pool. Compared to traditional pools, endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Our precision-engineered pools enable you to swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed and ability. Endless pools are perfect for year-round health and fitness, relaxation, and family fun. Our free idea kit and DVD will show you how easy it is for the whole family to enjoy a pool right in your backyard or home. An endless pool or an endless pool swim spa can become a showplace for your home. Call our toll-free number or visit the website to find out more about endless pools. The free idea kit will show you just how easy it is to be able to swim at home.
You want to own a brand new HP, Dell, or other name brand computer? If so, Tronics Country says you're approved, guaranteed.
I wanted a new computer, but I couldn't get financed. Then I called Tronics Country. They approved me, delivered my new computer.
If you have an active checking account and can afford low, flexible payments, you're already approved, guaranteed, for this special offer. There's no credit check, so you won't be turned down.
Tronics Country approved me quickly.
I got instant approval, and it was easy. Their flexible payment plans made it easy on my budget. And my kids are getting ahead in school.
I've started my own business, and now I'm my own boss.
Call now, and with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and free LCD TV. You heard right. Free printer, free MP3 player, and free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gifts shipped today.
I'm glad I called.
Call 800-804-2960 now.
At the half, Iona 42, Western Michigan 29. It's the 5-Hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off. And welcome back, everybody, to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Doug Sherman along with former Oklahoma State Cowboy Doug Gottlieb. And we have talked earlier today about the plane crash last night in Arkansas that claimed the lives of 4 people, including the women's head basketball coach at Oklahoma State and the assistant coach. Kurt Budke and Miranda Cerna passed away last night. And again, Doug, you having played at Oklahoma State and being so close to the program still, will all of your former coaches and former teammates, what's the thought and the feeling in Cowboys Nation today?
Stunned. Yeah. And stunned that it would open an old wound and then create another one all at the same time. You know, 10 months ago, ESPN really got behind a special ceremony at halftime of the Texas game on the 10th anniversary of the death of 10 members of the Oklahoma State men's basketball program. Now we're 10 years and 10 months removed from the death of those 10 men, and now we have to bury 4 more of our own. It's just tragic and sombering news. And, you know, the response from everyone associated with Oklahoma State has been, I can't believe this has happened again, especially to a man like Kurt Budke, who, in addition to turning cowgirl basketball into something special and something honorable on and off the floor, he was a good man. A good man. I've always believed that the people make the place, and the reason that I hold Oklahoma State and Stillwater, Oklahoma, is such a dear place in my heart is because of the people there. And Kirk Budke and his staff kind of embodied that. They did things the right way. He really fully invested himself in being a part of the athletic department, not just worrying about his team. He'd show up at all the other sporting events. He spent time at Sean Sutton's practices when he first got the job. And then, of course, Travis Ford, since he's gotten the job, he's become close with all the different coaching staffs, and everyone has been hit hard by this. And then, of course, it spreads throughout college basketball because so many of these coaches, without giving it a thought, after practice, hop on a private plane, go see a player with their recruiter, with their assistant coach, and don't think anything about the possibility of such negative consequences.
Well, on behalf of ESPN, and I'm sure everybody at home, our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to everybody at Oklahoma State for their loss. We'll take a break and come back with more of our halftime show here in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state in back taxes? Hi, I'm Max with Blue Tax. Due to the current economy, the IRS and state tax agencies are being more lenient, but this won't last long. Here's how it works. Let's say you owe $20,000. With Blue Tax, this is what your settlement could look like. Great, right? There are many relief programs that taxpayers just don't know about, and you could wind up paying way less than you owe. Our team of attorneys and enrolled agents can negotiate settlements, lift bank levies, remove wage garnishments, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce back payroll taxes. And at Blue Tax, we mean business. Those are my tax attorneys, and they don't mess around. They'll call the IRS or state on your behalf and negotiate your settlement for you. It's that easy. So call us right now for a free consultation at 800-691-7146 or visit www.bluetax.com. And remember, you heard it from me, Max, at Blue Tax. 800-691-7146.
Listen up, America!
Listen up, America. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. But here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans. And yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Welcome back to the 5-Hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off here in San Juan. Iona with a halftime lead over Western Michigan in this second round game, 42-29. Take a look at our first game, the first semifinal played earlier this afternoon. Temple's Ramon Moore had himself a tremendous game, Doug.
Didn't he? I mean, the ability to get to the basket, slash the basket, 22 points in the second half, kind of single-handedly keeping Temple around. And that was able to balance out the fact that Robbie Hummel had a huge first half, scoring inside, scoring outside, hitting threes, showing tremendous versatility. But the second half was all about Lewis Jackson. Lewis Jackson, when Robbie Hummel was limited, hit a couple of jump shots, got a couple of layups, got Juan Fernandez into foul trouble. Juan Fernandez eventually fouled out. And Temple's inability to contain Lewis Jackson in the second half ultimately was their undoing.
Lewis Jackson had never scored 22 points in a game. He scored 22 points in the second half to pull Purdue away from Temple, and you see the combination of Jackson and Hummel just too much.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ramon Moore was very good with 27 points of his own. Purdue was able to crank up their defense at times. Michael Eric was constantly into foul trouble, and look, for Purdue, a team that is going through the loss of E'Twaun Moore, going through the loss of Juwan Johnson, just finding ways to score points in different places has been a godsend here early on in this tournament.
And so the Boilers will play for the championship of the 5-Hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off on Sunday here in San Juan. Take another break, come back with more of our halftime report with Iona on Top 513.
John Mapes is 42. Mortgage, married, 2 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. John can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $25 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll search the pick of insurers like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. John's wife, Carrie, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or visit SelectQuote.com.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number or visit our website. A free idea kit and DVD will be sent to your home so you can discover all the benefits of owning your own pool. Compared to traditional pools, endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Our precision-engineered pools enable you to swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed and ability. Endless pools are perfect for year-round health and fitness, relaxation, and family fun. Our free idea kit and DVD will show you how easy it is for the whole family to enjoy a pool right in your backyard or home. An endless pool or an endless pool swim spa can become a showplace for your home. Call our toll-free number or visit the website to find out more about endless pools. The free idea kit will show you just how easy it is to be able to swim at home.
It's the MAC against the MAC, the Mid-American Conference West Division preseason favorites. Western Michigan trailing the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference preseason favorite, the Iona Gales, and so far it's been the MAAC getting the better of it, despite Demetrius Ward playing much better.
Yeah, Demetrius Ward, who didn't play particularly well yesterday, wasn't playing well in the first half, but he got these 2 buckets, especially that corner 3, and it seemed to energize the senior from Detroit. Now he became more aggressive, even missing that drive, getting an offensive rebound, leaning in, and getting a foul. Ward has 14 at the half to go along with 2 steals. But the story for Iona was the reassertion of Kyle Smith offensively. You know, back into the starting lineup where he was taken out of yesterday. He came out, hit 2 quick threes, got a steal, got an assist, and got it going, has 13 points. And then off the bench, Rashad James, who didn't play yesterday for Iona. Didn't play at all. 10 points, including that resounding dunk on the business end of the alley-oop, and Iona flexed their muscles to a 42-29 halftime lead.
Smythe, the story so far, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 assists.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Back with the second half after this.
You want to own a brand new HP, Dell, or other name brand computer? If so, Tronics Country says you're approved, guaranteed.
I wanted a new computer, but I couldn't get financed. Then I called Tronics Country. They approved me, delivered my new computer.
If you have an active checking account and can afford low, flexible payments, you're already approved, guaranteed, for this special offer. There's no credit check, so you won't be turned down.
Tronics Country approved me quickly.
I got instant approval, and it was easy. Their flexible payment plans made it easy on my budget. And my kids are getting ahead in school.
I've started my own business, and now I'm my own boss.
Call now, and with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and free LCD TV. You heard right. Free printer, free MP3 player, and free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gifts shipped today.
I'm glad I called.
Call 800-804-2960 now.
Attention all homeowners, do you want help today?
Are you having difficulty making your mortgage payments? Do you have an adjustable rate set to adjust to a new rate? Do you want to lower your mortgage payments to an amount you can afford?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, call the Loan Modification Help Hotline now. We may be able to cut your mortgage payment in half and help to reduce your interest payment to as low as 1%. Find out what we can do for you today. The call is free. The consultation is free.
We were so worried about losing our home. Loan modification helped us to avoid foreclosure. glad I made the call.
Homeowners, do not struggle another minute. Call the Loan Modification Help Hotline toll-free. Discover how much we can reduce your mortgage payment. Act now. We may be able to cut your mortgage payment in half and help to reduce your interest payment to as low as 1%. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 888-724-9814.
Back in San Juan, just about set for the start of the second half. Iona has been in control from the outset, jumped out to a 7-0 lead, and they lead at 42-29. First half statistics show you the Gales didn't exactly shoot the lights out, but they shot pretty well from the perimeter, and that Kyle Smythe early shooting barrage helped to separate from Western Michigan.
No doubt about it. And also the ability to, to push the ball in transition. 13 assists as a team, mostly off the hands of Scott Machado, who has 9. But you look at Western Michigan, just dreadful numbers, 2 of 9 from 3, shooting just 33% from the field, and struggling from the free throw line.
So now get this about Scott Machado.
Outside of that, they've played very well. They haven't shot well from 2, haven't shot well from 3. They have 12 turnovers at the half, and they can't make free throws.
Other than that,
everything's good.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, there's Coach Hawkins trying to get his troops ready for half number 2. Western Michigan 0-2 on the year.
All right, I interrupted you about Machado. Go ahead.
So Machado,
the assists.
The numbers are really something. Now, his 11 assist performance yesterday against Purdue, the all-time Puerto Rico tip-off single-game record.
Right.
And now with his 9 assists already in this ball game, he has got 20 total, 2 off the all-time tournament record for 3 games. Daniel Hackett at USC 3 years ago finished the event with 22. So now he could break that record in just over a game and a half, and quite likely will.
Yeah, he has a chance to double that record. I mean, the pace that they're playing and the amount of shots that they're hitting. He passes it by 5 or 6, and then he has a solid championship game, whether it's against Colorado or Maryland. It's not like they're going to slow down and start playing walking-up basketball.
No, and let's not go crazy. This is only the 5th year of this event, so it's not like it's going way, way back, but he is on pace to shatter that record.
Some good names. I mean,
yeah.
Eric Maynor, 3rd on that list. Kendall Marshall. Now, when Kendall Marshall played in this tournament last year and averaged 5 assists, remember he was splitting time with Larry Drew. That was before he became a starting point guard.
Right. Before we realized how really good he is.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Tremendous advance passer. He advances the ball. He's not as quick as Machado. He's not as good a creative passer in the lane as Machado's a much better passer in the lane in the half court. Marshall runs the team well, and in their transition game, he's as good as I've seen in a long time at throwing it up to guys, not just throwing it up when they're open, but getting it to them in their rhythm.
Glover gets 1 out of 2. Once again, his numbers so far here today have been down because of foul trouble. Ward. Long rebound to Whitfield, back to his classmate, and back out to the 3rd senior from Detroit, Douglas. Momo Jones almost comes up with a steal, but a terrific, strong double team down on the post to force that bad pass.
Now, Whitfield is kind of panicking when he sees the double team. Just either take a dribble and a step out and take a look, take your time. But he knew the double team was coming from the middle, and Momo Jones read that pass.
Defensive breakdown there to get the easy 2 for Whitfield.
There's a good cross screen by Stainbrook. Stainbrook simply laid his body on Glover, and Glover was unable to get around the big 290-pound frame.
Stainbrook, meanwhile, came in averaging 23 points per game for Western Michigan's first 2. Glover with the finger roll. Stainbrook has yet to score so far here today.
Yeah, this game's too fast for him. Too quick for him. And, he came over to close on Glover on just that last possession, but Glover's so agile that he's able to simply step to the side. I mean, watch. Glover comes over, reverse pivot, and Stainbrook's in position, but he can't keep up with him athletically to move just 1 step laterally.
Nate Hutchison inside to Stainbrook, back to Hutchison. And a reach-in foul called against Ridley.
See, here's the difference in Temple and Western Michigan. Hutchison, every time he gets the ball, is putting that ball on the floor. Whereas we've seen Temple both the past 2 days, and I've stood there beaten today, and even the Purdue team, making that extra pass, moving it, ping, 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 ping. Nate Hutchinson is struggling, so much so he was pulled the first half. Needs to continue to move that basketball, unless he has a lane in which he's absolutely going to attack and score it.
Got to correct myself, Doug. The foul was not on Ridley, it was on Jones. Douglas blocked by Jones. Douglas gets it back. Nice job to lure the defender away, thinking he might pass it. He lays it in. Machado quickly back the other way. What'd you say, 3 seconds, 4 seconds?
That felt like 2.5. He gets so deep with his pitch outs. It's one thing to have skill. It's another thing to use that skill and that speed and beat half the defense down based on where your pitch out depth. Let's see where he is. See where he catches it? Now he catches it past the hash mark, almost to half court. So that's 3 dribbles. He's in the lane, and the defense is already flattened out.
And he's at full speed.
He's at full speed. Your momentum should always be going down. I mean, you know, the Jason Kidds, the Steve Nashes of the world, the best of the best, they catch it wherever they are going down the floor. And when they're really good and they're not being challenged defensively, they get it nearly at midcourt, and now you're almost dead.
Foul on Stainbrook. The other thing about Machado is, with all good point guards, head's always up, eyes are always scanning the court.
Yeah. The next step for him would be coming down and showing the ability to stop and shoot, you know, the college length 3, so that if there's a player in the lane that has yet to stop the ball, he has to take a step out, and now he's got a huge advantage. He can shoot the ball from 3 now, but it's more catch and shoot threes. That's where he's comfortable. He gets his feet set. He's got a nice looking stroke.
Glover trying to establish position on Whitfield down low. Gales looking for an angle to get it in there. And finally they do. Glover's going to be called for the offensive foul, and that is his 3rd personal.
He's frustrated, and I don't blame him. You know, it's not great spacing on that play. They have Ridley feeding the post, so Stainbrook doesn't have to come out and guard Ridley at 17 feet. So even as Ridley kind of, watch, see, Stainbrook's kind of there in the way, so even as Ridley kind of circles through, which he's supposed to, there's just not the clear spacing.
And so once again, Mike Glover goes back to the bench for Tim Kluse.
Yeah, I think Mike Glover, the one thing he can add to his game, you saw the previous play in which he reverse pivoted, but he also caught the ball off that lane. If he can reverse pivot into a jump shot, that'll create more space as well.
How about the block shot by Machado?
Just the speed. You know, Mike Douglas, great job. Whenever that double team is slow getting there, you bust it on the dribble. Now you go down and create a dunk. And Whitfield was going in for the dunk. He's a big, powerful, 6'7", 220-pound athlete. Machado goes behind him and blocks a shot.
High post Stainbrook, kick to the corner. Strong move along the baseline. Mike Douglas for 2.
He regained his confidence when he finished over Glover on the previous play. Now Douglas kind of looks like a different guy.
Zouvre back out to Jones. And now Momo Jones will back it out.
Momo and Smythe have been quiet here in this half. They haven't gotten very many touches in the offensive scoring zone.
Cross court to Zouvre. Shovel pass to Ridley, and he puts it in. A lot of options for the Iona Gales this year. Blocking foul will send Hutchison to the line.
Yeah, Hutchison's a very good athlete. I saw it in one of their exhibition games. I was watching the DVD on the flight over. And it was Douglas threw him a poor pass, an alley-oop, and instead of going up and dunking on the right side, he brought it down, reversed it on the other. So he does have length and athleticism. But see, he takes off one dribble too far out. Now, if you don't have the angle, take a second dribble, 2-foot stop, jump in, get the foul, make the bucket. Hutchison's still trying to find his game this year.
This free throw for the 6'7" junior from Marion, Iowa, out of Linn-Mar High School. And he had an outstanding summer, preseason. Coach Hawkins very excited about the growth and development that he has seen out of Hutchinson. He gets 1 out of 2 from the line. But again, Western Michigan, just like yesterday, in their opening round game, playing from behind, trying to catch up. And they can't string together enough stops at one end or enough buckets at the other. And there's Smythe left with room, and he knocks it down.
And another assist, and now a steal.
Now 14 points for Smythe. They made a scoring correction at halftime, so he now has 14 along with the rest of those other real good numbers on the stat line.
So he didn't have 13 at the half?
He didn't.
11 at the half.
He had 11 at the half. Still not bad.
No, he gets it up in a hurry, boy. Especially a guy who suffered through some injuries, redshirted a year at Iona.
They're looking for him again. There is that quick, sweet release. 17 now for Smythe. Machado with another double-double for the second straight day in points and assists. Pass mishandled by Whitfield out of bounds. Well, we've been talking about how beautiful San Juan, Puerto Rico is, and a big part of that, including right outside our hotel rooms, the beach.
This is all shot right outside your hotel room. All of it, every part of it.
It is beautiful down here in San Juan.
Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state in back taxes? Hi, I'm Max with Blue Tax. Due to the current economy, the IRS and state tax agencies are being more lenient, but this won't last long. Here's how it works. Let's say you owe $20,000. With Blue Tax, this is what your settlement could look like. Great, right? There are many relief programs that taxpayers just don't know about, and you could wind up paying way less than you owe. Our team of attorneys and enrolled agents can negotiate settlements, lift bank levies, remove wage garnishments, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce back payroll taxes. And at Blue Tax, we mean business. Those are my tax attorneys, and they don't mess around. They'll call the IRS or state on your behalf and negotiate your settlement for you. It's that easy. So call us right now for a free consultation at 800-691-7146 or visit www.bluetax.com. And remember, you heard it from me, Max, at Blue Tax. 800-691-7146.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 1-800-590-6974. That's 1-800-590-6974.
Welcome back to the 5-Hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off here in San Juan. Iona has stretched its lead to 55-36 early second half. And Scott Machado has been in the center of it all. Back-to-back double-doubles, Doug.
He's
points and assists.
Already has 10 assists, already tied the tournament record. We're only slightly more than midway through his second game of a 3-game tournament. Scott Machado constantly looking to create. Look, sometimes guys hop up like Kyle Smythe and make you look good and create an assist where one didn't exist. But trust me, Scott Machado, of the 22 assists he has in this tournament, 11 so far this afternoon, they're all legit. Pass leading directly to a basket.
Yeah, Daniel Hackett 3 years ago had the record. Now he shares it for the moment, but the man with the basketball in his hands likely to pass him shortly.
There's that same play. Oh!
I guess he's passed him. My goodness, third dunk of the ball game for Rashad James. One as good as the next. Stainbrook gets his first two.
This is where, Stainbrook.
Technical foul on Coach Hawkins.
The second in 2 games. Well, yesterday he told the official, you heard something, you thought you heard something you didn't hear. Today he's not arguing. guessing he thinks he deserved it.
The official who called it was right next to him. And I'm guessing Coach Hawkins said whatever he said, not very loudly, because without a big crowd here, if he had let her rip, we would have heard it. But like you say, he doesn't seem to be putting up much of a fuss. So Lamont Jones at the free throw line, shooting the technicals.
All right, so Rashad James did not play at all yesterday. But this is the second time they've run that set with Kyle Smythe setting the back pick. And the reason you have Kyle Smythe set the back pick is he's such a prolific shooter that you're thinking, don't help, don't help, don't help. Now, you should switch that play. It's a well-designed play. And here, looking for it again. He just, nice little bump by Brown.
A rare miss for Kyle Smythe. And again, Jermel Jenkins played in that role yesterday for Iona, scored 13 points.
Nice pass.
Missed by Whitfield. Cost Stainbrook an assist.
That's the worst. Especially when they load up on their offensive rebound stats with the putback, too.
Now, here's one of the things I've been harping on for years, Doug, and I'm guessing you will agree with this. When you make a pass
and it gets fouled
and goes to the line and even makes one free throw, you deserve an assist.
You do.
I'm probably preaching to the choir here. You'd have had, what, 1,300
Oh,
assists?
a lot more. A lot more. You know, I could also point out the year I led the country in assists, I only played 28 a game, and I didn't start for 7 games because my coach was upset at me. But that would be water under the bridge. That would be carrying a grudge, you know?
And I don't think
or the
anybody...
fact that we walked the ball up when I was at Notre Dame.
Right.
Nullifying the ability to get assists, not playing at this type of up-tempo. 12 assists today. Scott Machado putting on a shot.
Well, you were coming up when Bobby Hurley and Sherman Douglas were putting up big, prolific assist numbers.
I'm not that old.
Come on.
I'm not that old. I finished in the 21st century. Bobby Hurley was my idol as a kid. It was 1,143, I'm going to say. Just know Greg Anthony has 3 more than I do, and he never let me live that down during his stint at ESPN.
I can believe that. Well, now I must say, before we came down here, boom, Momo Jones misfires. I think your single season assist total when you led the country in assists is still the most for anybody in a single season in like the last 30 years. If it's not, it's pretty close.
There's a lot of air balls the guys caught. How about Stainbrook? We saw him hit a jump shot yesterday.
Yep.
Now it's a 12-point game. You know, Iona has made the spectacular plays, but again, allowing your opponent to kind of hang around. And between Mike Douglas hitting a 3 and now Stainbrook hitting a 3, Matt Stainbrook hitting a 3, Bronx aren't going away quietly into the night. 12-point game.
Listen up, America!
Listen up, America. I'm talking to anyone with or without a pre-existing medical condition. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. But here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans. And yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could have a choice of affordable health plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-232-6082. That's 800-232-6082.
Attention all homeowners. Do you want help today? Call the Loan Modification Help Hotline now. We may be able to cut your mortgage payment in half and help to reduce your interest payment to as low as 1%. Find out what we can do for you today. The call is free. The consultation is free. Discover how much we can reduce your mortgage payment. Call now for a free consultation. We have trained staff ready to assist you.
Call 888-507-3582.
Head coach Steve Hawkins and his Western Michigan Broncos still looking for their first win of the young season. Welcome back to San Juan, everybody. And you see that Purdue has already punched its ticket to Sunday night's championship game, which you can see on ESPN2. My partner Doug Gottlieb will join Hubert Davis and John Shambi for that call. And they will also have the call of our second semifinal coming up later on tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. 15th ranked Alabama against Wichita State.
Yeah, outstanding. Great defensive matchup. I'll be intrigued to see how Alabama shoots the basketball, because Maryland's a team that just doesn't have enough bullets in the gun, not enough offense. Alabama hit a couple of threes yesterday. Oh.
If you could have shot like that,
well, I'd still be playing. Well, actually, I'd be sitting watching guys play. But, wow. Watch how quickly he gets rid of it. 1, 2, up, bang.
And on the angle we were at, we saw it was a perfect release with a perfect rotation.
Yeah. David Brown has been, sticking to him, and that's why they got the alley-oop dunk, because he didn't leave him. But a simple down screen, you cannot lose contact with Smythe. You got to be right behind him, whether you call it tailgating him, chasing, following, playing tag. It's all different descriptions for it, but everyone knows when you're guarding a shooter, you get right behind his numbers and you stick to him and you make him curl.
As mentioned earlier, he scored 8 3-point buckets in one game at Albany last year. Three-pointer good by Demetrius Ward.
Ward has gotten his game together.
Ward now with 17, as you see, and he's had good efficiency shooting from distance.
Ward Douglas has 7 here in the second half.
Smythe steps back. Has he even touched iron yet?
He missed 2.
But the ones that he made.
No, it is pure.
Machado. Great job to keep the defender on his hip. Wow.
Weight room strong.
He is putting on a show.
All right, first let's look at Smythe. Now watch the balance, so that when he pump fakes, he did move that left foot a little bit, but then a step back to create the space into that great release, and then Machado with the deflection, jumps in, creates the contact, and 1.
Foul on Douglas.
What was a 12-point game is now an 18-point game. What was somewhat in doubt is now not at all in doubt.
Yep.
Smythe 2 big threes and the and 1 from Machado.
There's Smythe with 24 points, his career high 29 in that game where he hit 8 3-pointers.
He got 7 already. 7 of 12, so he's missed 4. Doesn't seem like he's missed. It's 5. That was my math. Sorry, it's been a long day. That's my bad.
There you go.
Looking right at
my
the numbers.
bad. Exactly. 68-50. And there is Kyle Smythe, young man out of Don Bosco Prep in New Jersey. We talk about some of the great prep schools and high schools in the state of New Jersey. That one has also helped produce a young man like Smythe.
But he was also part of that kind of the Kevin Willard recruiting class. Remember, he's a redshirt junior, so he technically should be a senior. Redshirt his first year. And, Kevin Willard did a tremendous job of recruiting to this style, and that's why it fits so well with Tim Cluse, who comes in and continues to want to push up-tempo. They played these guys when they're young. They played Machado when he was young. Then, of course, now they've added Glover last year. You had Ridley this year.
And it doesn't always work when you add those pieces on the fly, especially guys transferring back from the Big East to the Big 12. Bigger conferences, it doesn't always work.
I think that's the big question heading forward. I mean, as long as Momo Jones is okay with his role playing opposite a guy like Machado and letting Machado be the main ball handler, because I just think he's better at the one than Momo Jones is.
Ward, another 3. 20 points all of a sudden for the senior.
He's been terrific. It all started with that corner 3. He hit a corner 3 and quick release. You could just see his confidence change.
Talk about confidence, Scott Machado.
All right, so last year you saw Kendall Marshall. You've watched Kendall Marshall a ton.
Yep.
If you're going to take a point guard, you take Machado or Marshall. I know this is going to sound like sacrilege.
It's got to be Marshall.
I think I'd take.
You think you take Machado right now?
Yeah.
Wow.
As far as past first point guards.
Yeah.
Kendall Marshall's bigger, probably 2.5 inches bigger. I mean, let me give you kind of a list of 5-point guards so you don't know that you soon will. And some of the guys you've seen. We saw Casper Ware go into Pittsburgh. He had 37 the other day. Casper Ware of Long Beach State, the player of the year in the Big West last year. Zach Rosen averaging 26 a game for Penn. They get a big road win. Damian Lillard of Weber State, averaging 22 a game, 22 and 4. And I think this guy, Scott Machado.
Well, I don't think you're going to go wrong either way. Offensive foul that time against Machado.
I mean, listen, I'm not trying to dismiss in any way Kendall Marshall.
No.
And Marshall, like I said, as good an advanced passer. Scott Machado is explosive. He can score a little bit more. And what a creator in the half court. Gales up big.
You want to own a brand new HP, Dell, or other name brand computer? If so, Tronics Country says you're approved, guaranteed.
I wanted a new computer, but I couldn't get financed. Then I called Tronics Country. They approved me, delivered my new computer.
If you have an active checking account and can afford low, flexible payments, you're already approved, guaranteed, for this special offer. There's no credit check, so you won't be turned down.
Tronics Country approved me quickly.
I got instant approval, and it was easy. Their flexible payment plans made it easy on my budget. And my kids are getting ahead in school.
I've started my own business, and now I'm my own boss.
Call now, and with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and free LCD TV. You heard right. Free printer, free MP3 player, and free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gifts shipped today.
I'm glad I called.
Call 800-804-2960 now.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 1-800-590-6974. That's 1-800-590-6974.
Welcome back to the 5-Hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off, Western Michigan and Iona. Midway through the second half, and the Gales have once again stretched out that lead. And while Western Michigan has played better at the offensive end, they have not been able to sustain it. And Coach Hawkins' club once again staring at a big deficit and staring at a potential 0-2 start to their trip here in San Juan. And a spot in the 7-8 game if they can't make a big comeback here. Doug Sherman along with former Oklahoma State point guard Doug Gottlieb. We were talking before the break as the Gales full court pressure has Ward bottled up, able to get through it. But we were talking about Kendall Marshall for North Carolina or Scott Machado for Iona. Debating the pros and cons as Machado picks up a personal foul.
Kendall Marshall's not a great offensive player because he's not a great threat to score. You know, he kind of shoots his head shot. I think Machado is a better jump shooter now. Machado, I think, is a better finisher going to the basket. Kendall Marshall is bigger and not a great defensive player. Part of it is, and this is where I'll take Kendall Marshall's side on it, is because there's no true backup point guard. I think they tell him to back up and play a little bit softer defensively and kind of rest, not necessarily relax, not play any defense. You see Florida Whitfield. He's gotten 16 shots. He simply hasn't converted around the basket. As much as their turnovers have hurt him, Whitfield's inability to make some of those bunnies around the basket, the quickness of Iona has really bothered him. He's rushed shots that he normally makes.
I just wanted to ask you, Doug, as Smythe goes for his own personal record to tie 3 points in a game, didn't quite get it. Good hustle again in the backcourt by the Gales. And Machado will pull it back out. How do you factor in a discussion like that the fact that Machado plays most of his games in the MAC against a certain level of competition with a certain level of teammate and finishers around him? There's another assist and a nice finish by Ridley.
Yeah,
as opposed to
in the ACC. You think he would average less assists playing with John Henson, with Harrison Barnes?
Right, and that's my point exactly.
Tyler Zeller?
Then is Marshall overvalued potentially by having such great finishers that he can throw it to as compared to somebody playing at Iona?
I think yes.
Yeah.
I think yes.
And you mentioned Henson. Holy smokes.
His offensive game's starting to come together.
If it comes together, he'll be in the league for 15 years.
He'll be in the league 15 years anyway.
Yeah.
Great kid, 4-point student. And now Demetrius Ward picks up a technical foul.
Well, now a 4-guard look for Iona. And an alert goes out because number 4 in white is back on the floor. Rashad James, who already has 3 highlight-worthy slams. And after the technical, once again, it's Lamont Momo Jones at the foul line.
It's the first we've heard of Momo in the second half.
Yeah. And there have been stretches like that both yesterday and today where he has not been the focal point at all.
Right.
And he seems to be able to play within the system, I guess. And if you're Momo Jones, you know, we've talked about how he and Machado will mesh and how they are going to share the basketball. If you're Momo Jones watching Machado, your teammate, play as well as he has, how on earth couldn't you be happy to defer to him?
I mean, you're used to playing with the basketball.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, Machado's a spectacular talent. They're going to need them both to win their league.
And because the fact that they have both of them, they are the preseason pick in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, along with the preseason player of the year, Mike Glover, who we have not had the opportunity to see much the last couple of days for Tim Kluse, out again with foul trouble here today.
Yeah, disappointing for Glover so far. You know, 13 NBA scouts in attendance. Yesterday he was disappointing because of his conditioning and kind of got outplayed. Today it's been the foul trouble. Of course, after the day off, he'll get another opportunity.
Machado slipped on the floor. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's Iona basketball. And now Machado, after seeming to be okay when he got up immediately, now seems to have a little discomfort.
But that part of the court on both sides of the lane has been slippery the past 2 days. He just goes down. It's not, you know, this is like an NBA arena. So this is not the old days of the Maui Invitational before they got air conditioning in Chaminade's gym when players would slip because of condensation. That shouldn't be the problem here. That's simply flop sweat, I believe. Get running up and down trying to chase Iona. He'd be sweating too.
Yeah, that race wouldn't last long if I was out there. Ridley thought about it and maybe should have thought twice. Everybody just standing around on the offensive end here for Western. Stainbrook double teamed and Machado took it away. Good hustle by Hutchison to get back on that layup attempt. Whitfield ripping that rebound away. Hutchison. Sweet shot.
I think he needs to think, don't dribble. Don't dribble.
That's his first field goal of the ball game.
Or if he does dribble, it should be more, and it's not necessarily his game just yet, but more like Robbie Hummel, whom we saw. One dribble, solid, compact into a jump shot. He's going to get layups and dunks and athletic plays. A very long, rangy athlete. They'll just come naturally, though, not off him creating off the dribble.
Machado spins into the lane. Whitfield clears the miss. Nice move by Douglas.
He's been much better in the second half. Look at how deep those pitch outs are. And that's really, you're going to scout Iona in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. One, you got to make guys like Scott Machado beat you with their jump shot. And two, you got to eliminate those deep pitch outs.
How do you do that?
You can use your big guy to do what's called choke off a pitch out, which means ball goes in the basket and your big guy kind of goes and runs to the guard, because if you challenge with the guard and he beats you, now there's no one back. Stainbrook, another power dribble, needs to go off 2 feet, off 1 foot. Here's a guy who only had 1 scholarship offer, 2 scholarship offers out of high school, 330 pounds. They thought he'd be in better shape had he not had to have an abscess removed in the offseason.
Ward up to 23.
10-point game.
It is 73-63. Wow.
A 10-point game, just like that. So, anyway, to answer your question, deep pitch outs. There's really only two ways to do it. One is the ball goes in and your big guys have to act like kind of defenders and just kind of get in between and try and deflect and distract, make the guard come back. Because if he has to come back to the basketball, that eliminates it. And the other, obviously, is you can zone press. Ball goes in the basket, and you 1-3-1, just kind of keep in front and then match up to man-to-man.
All right, we'll take a break with the timeout here in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state and back taxes? Hi, I'm Max with Blue Tax. Due to the current economy, the IRS and state tax agencies are being more lenient, but this won't last long. Here's how it works. Let's say you owe $20,000. With Blue Tax, this is what your settlement could look like. Great, right? There are many relief programs that taxpayers just don't know about, and you could wind up paying way less than you owe. Our team of attorneys and enrolled agents can negotiate settlements, lift bank levies, remove wage garnishments, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce back payroll taxes. And at Blue Tax, we mean business. Those are my tax attorneys, and they don't mess around. They'll call the IRS or state on your behalf and negotiate your settlement for you. It's that easy. So call us right now for a free consultation at 800-691-7146 or visit www.bluetax.com. And remember, you heard it from me, Max, at Blue Tax. 800-691-7146.
Attention all homeowners. Do you want help today? Call the Loan Modification Help Hotline now. We may be able to cut your mortgage payment in half and help to reduce your interest payment to as low as 1%. Find out what we can do for you today. The call is free. The consultation is free. Discover how much we can reduce your mortgage payment. Call now for a free consultation. We have trained staff ready to assist you.
Call 888-507-3582.
This is game number 2 of day number 2 of the 2011 5-Hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off here in San Juan. And Western Michigan continues to chip away. Now, is it Western Michigan chipping away or Tim Kluse's Iona Gales not being able to close that door, Doug?
Yeah, they're just at times sloppy. They get caught up in, hey, let's try and get Rashad James another dunk. Right. Or let's, you pointed out Ridley taking a deep three-point shot, Taj Ridley. Instead of just running your stuff, getting the ball inside to Glover, getting your ball inside to Ridley, now another turnover. That's good pump fake, one dribble. That's more what Hutchinson needs to be thinking with his offensive game. He was trying the last day and a half too hard to create something off the dribble.
15 to shoot.
But
looking for an entry pass from the far corner.
Well, that's where Stainbrook was yelling, hey, I'm open.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're that open for a reason.
Well, Iona's biggest lead was 19 at 55-36.
10-point game, you get a stop, and you don't even get a shot. So frustrating. You wonder why all these coaches, you wonder why Steve Hawkins has no hair.
Well, he's been a coach. He's wanted to be a coach since he was high school. Yeah. He's been dealing with this for a long time. There you see the first semifinal that we had earlier today. Temple lost to Purdue 85-77. Lewis Jackson, the point guard, had a marvelous second half. And Robbie Hummel was his typically terrific self from start to finish, and the Boilermakers took care of the Owls, who also lost 2/5 of their starting lineup, Temple did, because of foul trouble, and were unable to really sustain any sort of push down the stretch.
And we'll get a chance to see Alabama, Wichita State. John Shambi and Hubert Davis have the call on ESPN2. Tony Mitchell played so well last night, 17-11 with 3 3-pointers. And, the winner gets this dynamic twosome, experienced backcourt player in Lewis Jackson, who had 26, 22 in the second half, as you pointed out. And then Robbie Hummel, 20, most of which were in the first half, although he did have kind of the dagger shot in the second half, a big post up. And yesterday he had 24, averaging 22 a game in this tournament. My math's better there, right?
I wasn't paying as close attention that time, but I'm sure you were correct. Yes. Well, coming out of another break, let's see if Iona looks for Glover or Smythe or Machado, those who've been delivering so far here today. There's another slip by Machado. Second time here just the last 5 minutes. Ward finds the trailing Stainbrook. That time takes it strong to the rim.
8-point game. And really, Demetrius Ward, Mike Douglas have been the difference here in the second half. They settled down. Ward's been able to score that time created, and Douglas has been much more aggressive.
James strong to the bucket again.
I mean, that dribble weave, dribble handoff is pretty simple stuff. Like size guys, you always switch. Surprised Western Michigan got caught up. What was that? As Stainbrook tried to throw it off the backboard to himself.
My goodness, that would have been the best of the day. Instead, it's Western Michigan coming back the other way.
I mean, this is what I mean, though. I mean, here you're Iona. You're up 10. And look, it wasn't a bad pass, and it was just a missed dunk. But it's the type of thing in which here they have a great opportunity to put the game away. Instead, Mike Douglas ends up getting a chance for 2 free throws. Smart move here. So he jumps to the side. You got a guy in position, you jump to the side so you don't go over the center of his body. Smythe got it right in the gut. And Stainbrook falls on him. Right, first I get the block. First it's not a try. I set my feet. I'm outside the half circle.
And then here
I get the block.
290.
Then Mike Douglas runs into me. Then, hold on, it's not done. Rashard James, who's just a ball of muscle, falls into me. And then 290-pound Matt Stainbrook, for some reason, just falls on me. Come on.
Now Western Michigan back within 9, just over 6 minutes remaining. Mike Douglas and Demetrius Ward, especially after struggling so mightily in their opening round game yesterday, combining for just 1 field goal and 5 points yesterday. They have now combined for well over 30 here so far tonight.
If you just clicked on ESPN3, okay, or you're watching this game because it can be replayed on ESPN3 at any time, and you fast forward it because you want to see it. It was 18. It was 18, and Western Michigan had 2 technical fouls, one on Steve Hawkins, one on Demetrius Ward. They were falling out of the game. It was getting bad.
It was deflected by Smythe, so Western should keep the ball and will on the baseline with 18 seconds to shoot.
I saw you looking at me at that half-court violation. I guess they're saying that Stainbrook had established position in the front court. I didn't say he had. I just said that's what I believe the official was called.
My head turned as Tim Cluse jumped, wondering,
Mike Thibodeau was right there.
And now the discussion at the other huddle as we see Coach Hawkins continues as Tim Cluse looks for his explanation of why that was not a turnover.
Well, listen, Western has gotten almost anything they've wanted inside. You know, Glover's doesn't play much defense at all. And then he's been in foul trouble, so it's kind of added insult to injury. The question is, can they get an easy bucket here and continue to put the pressure on? Whatever they do, you can't come out of it underneath out of bounds and not get a shot.
Again, 15 seconds to shoot. Douglas, little runner, got ourselves a ball game. 75-68.
Look at the second chance points, 27. And Iona is so paying attention to trying to get the ball and run because they're getting the rebound.
Here goes Glover. And a strong finish. He's so big, upper body.
Yeah, it's also smart running the dribble weave with a big man, which brings Flennard Whitfield out away from the basket. He's not used to guarding that kind of action. Clearly not comfortable. Now they need to throw it into him.
Both teams in the bonus, as you see on the bottom of your screen this year, ESPN with a new graphics look. Another three-pointer buried by Mike Douglas.
How about Douglas in the second half? Nobody stops the ball.
And so Scott Machado will have a chance for a three-point play at the foul line. Machado already has 13 assists in this ball game, which breaks the record that he set yesterday for single game assists in this tournament, and his collective total already is the all-time tournament record. And so back-to-back double-doubles, and he's got Iona's lead back up to 9. Stainbrook using his size to his advantage.
Ridley almost got out of the way.
Momo Jones well short. Glover had it for a moment, but Stainbrook comes away with it, taken away by Jones. And Iona converts. Ridley with the 2.
A 7-point game. A terrible shot from Momo Jones.
Blocking foul against Ridley, who had just scored at the other end.
Stainbrook has got to learn to be stronger with that basketball. So Stainbrook gets the rebound, secures it. Momo Jones just took it from him. Now that's one of those deals where they teach you now, as we talked about yesterday, they teach you the interpretation is you can't swing your elbows. But when you get the rebound, you can secure the ball and chin it, as they say, and put your elbows up. You just can't swing it. But he held the ball just out there kind of like a hot loaf of bread, like he didn't really want it.
Like Ridley might have stepped in a little early. Either way, Hutchison hit the second free throw. And it's back to a 7-point ball game with 4 minutes on the clock.
The way Iona defends, you can make up a 7-point difference. But you got to get a stop.
Glover was determined to power his way into the lane. And the foul called against the Broncos and against Whitfield. We'll take a break. 3:51 on the clock. Iona's lead down to 7.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number or visit our website. A free idea kit and DVD will be sent to your home so you can discover all the benefits of owning your own pool. Compared to traditional pools, endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Our precision-engineered pools enable you to swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed and ability. Endless pools are perfect for year-round health and fitness, relaxation, and family fun. Our free idea kit and DVD will show you how easy it is for the whole family to enjoy a pool right in your backyard or home. An endless pool or an endless pool swim spa can become a showplace for your home. Call our toll-free number or visit the website to find out more about endless pools. The free idea kit will show you just how easy it is to be able to swim at home.
Listen up, America!
Listen up, America. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. But here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans. And yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
We're back in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Doug Sherman along with Doug Gottlieb. Steve Hawkins, the head coach at Western Michigan, spent a decade working John Wooden's camp back in the day.
Cal Lutheran College?
Yeah, and he has brought a lot of those teachings into the way he coaches his team. Here you see Larry Farmer behind him, former UCLA player and head coach, and a lot of UCLA feel to this, and what's he bringing right now with under 4 minutes to go to tell his guys this is what we need to do to make up these 7 points?
Well, their offense has been much more sound. You know, they've gotten the ball into the middle against the zone pressure, using Matt Stainbrook as kind of a release valve and then having him throw the ball up the floor. And then in the half court, they've done a good job getting the ball inside, whether it be at the dribble penetration or getting it to Stainbrook, getting it to Whitfield. Iona's defense opens up wide as can be. Now, the problem has been stopping that initial thrust of Iona because they get the ball so deep in those deep pitch outs for their transition game.
There's the double team. Momo picked his pocket clean.
I was just going to say that's that's why you got to be careful. As soon as the second defender just makes a step towards you, now you get rid of the basketball if you're not a true guard.
Hutchison off. Machado with the rebound. So the lead back to 10. Iona with the basketball. The Gales have done much better coming out of that last media timeout. Machado to Glover, and now the patient Iona Gales reappear, or appear for the first time.
One of the few times all season long, if you're an Iona fan, you're going to see the possibility of a shot clock violation.
Down to 6. Machado drops it off. No violation. Just a slam by Taj Ridley. That was about as good a possession as you could have drawn up for Iona. We're 30 seconds off the clock. Get your senior point guard to drive the paint and get an easy dunk.
The turnover by Hutchison was really the undoing. Yeah, turnover by Stainbrook, a turnover by Hutchison. But here's the Ridley dunk, but this is all Scott Machado. He's just a fantastic penetrator. Kind of classic. This is like AAU basketball. 1-4 flat ball or a high ball screen. Whitfield comes over to help.
Textbook.
Yep.
And Machado is almost always under control. Strong upper body, able to get into the lane.
Oh, he's tremendous. You still don't like. You're still taking. I mean, not even.
Oh, I love Scott Machado.
Are you even blinking? Are you even thinking about? Hey, maybe Kendall Marshall.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And that's not a bad 1A to B.
No.
If you're Scott Machado.
In terms of creative pass first point guards, because there's other types of. There's 2 Holloways out there. There's Casper Ware, who will. Long Beach State does go to North Carolina and play.
I just love the way Kendall Marshall carries himself on the floor with the basketball in his hands. There's a pretty good look, too, Glover, and that's what we saw all of last year. That combination.
I'll take a shot at it.
Long alley-oops, in transition, Glover up above the rim.
I mean, Ward has had a very nice game offensively. Now, he's not a great ball handler, so doesn't help them against the press at all. Watch this pass. What's weird about it for Machado is he's really comfortable making that right to left. I could make that. I was never really as comfortable because the ball tails away from the rim. So you have a tendency to either hit the rim or throw it too far away. He locates it really well.
Yeah, that was a very accurate pass.
But as you said, covering the Metro Atlantic. That was how they played last year. Spread you out, high ball screen, and then he would flash to the basket, just throw it up to the rim. Glover would go get it.
Jones back to Machado, 15 to shoot, under 2 minutes on the game clock. Iona led by as many as 19.
See, I wouldn't let him get it back. Don't let him get it back. There's no reason. You take your chances with Momo Jones shooting a fall-away jump shot.
Whitfield gives it right back to Machado.
All right, so to complete my argument, it's a 7-point game. Who got the steal against Hutchinson to go down and lay it in?
Momo.
No, that was Machado, wasn't it? I think it was Machado.
Okay, Machado.
And then who got the steal right there?
Well, that was Machado, because that wasn't so far back that I can't remember it.
If there's 3 phases, now obviously leadership is something that Kendall Marshall, that team won a lot of games last year, and that's something we're not factoring in. But if you take the 3 phases of being a point guard, offense as far as a scorer, offense as a passer, and then overall defensive acumen, Machado's even though they don't play particularly good defense at Iona, he has far greater effect as a defensive player, whereas Kendall Marshall doesn't do anything defensively. He's not a terrible defensive player. He's just simply in position. He doesn't exert a ton of energy. In transition, there's not many better than Kendall Marshall in terms of controlling a game, pushing a tempo. But he's not fast. He's not really that quick. He's big. He covers a lot of ground. He's not a scorer. I think Machado's a little better.
All right. He's got 15 assists so far here tonight. By the way,
I always watch guys and I think, how would I guard Scott Machado?
You wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. Now, he'll make you look bad.
Yeah.
The part about Machado is he'll make you look. Marshall might not make you look as bad because he's not going to cross you up. You're not going to fall down. This kid can dunk on you as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the way to guard him is to, try and fake at him, fake at him, fake at him. If you can, when he gives it up, don't let him get it back. Make them play without him. And then I think you have to limit him to just one side of the floor. If you're going to beat me, you're beating me going left. Or beat me going right. If you get flattened out against him, he's going to go by you.
What was your single game career high for assists?
In college was 18.
Nice. So we just saw Machado has tied his.
You want to hear the whole story?
Okay.
This is going to be a very it's actually going to be a self-deprecating story. 18 assists. We had an 81-game non-conference home winning streak. And we lost to Florida Atlantic, who won 5 games that year.
Ooh. Ooh. But still, how many assists?
18.
Yeah.
And I got a 2.
Here comes 290 pounds right at you again.
I'd say he has to lose, what do you think?
Well, he wants to get to 270 or 75. That's right. Yes, that's what he was saying.
270. If he's 270, and then he needs to continue to learn to use his body. Because he's got very soft hands. He doesn't ever drop a ball that's passed to him.
1 minute left in our second game here on Friday in San Juan. Timeout called by Machado after he got bottled up near midcourt. So again, 18 assists.
Yeah.
Team didn't win the game though.
No, had a bad turnover.
And it wasn't like you lost to Carolina or Kentucky.
No, they had a guy do cartwheels on our floor. It was really, it was humiliating. And then I didn't start the 8 games after that one because I got a T in a really bad spot.
Really? You got a T?
Yeah.
Wow. What was your career high in Ts?
Well, I mean, in a season?
Yeah.
Well, the problem was I had gotten one in a previous game. I got one the game right before that. Actually, I got 2 and got thrown out of the UCLA game.
Uh-oh.
The game before that.
Yeah. That'll happen, though.
It was a misunderstanding.
Was that at Pauley?
That was at the Honda Center.
Oh, okay.
Which was then the Arrowhead Pond. It was the only game I played in my home area
Back
of Orange
out in
County.
SoCal. Yeah.
Bear
was that
Davis.
the game for you? Was that a...
Yeah, it was a Wooden Classic. And bring me home, and I got thrown out at halftime.
Very nice.
Things that make us stronger. Demetrius Ward. You get back to calling the game.
36 seconds. Glover on the breakaway.
I do think Western Michigan found their lineup. Finally got Douglas playing. Hutchinson hit a couple jump shots. A lack of ball handling, though, is against a team like Iona is going to hurt them.
Yep.
And they have a very difficult schedule upcoming. We were talking about Scott Machado with his 13 assists. Excuse me, 15 assists. So much of it is the fact that he just has a great feel for where to give the guy the basketball. Athlete like James, you throw it up to the rim. If you're going to give it to Smythe, it's going to be right there for a right hand in the shot pocket. And then Rashard James, what a finisher. An icing on the cake with Taj Ridley. Even Glover getting some. He makes all of those guys look a lot better.
Yep.
I think you take him off this team, and it's at best a middle-of-the-pack team, even though they still have some talent. But just a pass-first point guard. And I like the fact that they have a Momo Jones as well for if he's not having a good game, or he gets sick, or he gets into foul trouble. And you look at a team like a UCLA that's struggling out of the gate, losing to Loyola Marymount. Of course, they didn't have Jeremy Anderson, one of their point guards, but then they have him against Middle Tennessee and they get blown out. Now they got to go to Chaminade. They win that game. They get a couple of very tough games in Maui. And the problem there is guard play. You have to have a solid point guard, and if you have two, you're in much better shape. Look at teams that traditionally underachieve in college basketball. Point guard play, a big reason why.
And Iona, especially at this level, has an embarrassment of riches in the backcourt right now.
Yeah.
And that's why it bodes so well for them in the MAC and potentially getting to the NCAA tournament. Long way down the road, but the MAC coaches in their preseason poll picked the Gales to be that team. And led by Scott Machado, who, as mentioned, he has tied his single game high today with 15 assists. And it's not a coincidence that his 15 assist game previously was the game at Albany last year that I referenced when Smythe had 8 3-pointers.
Yeah.
So they work very well in tandem, along with that young man who's coming back in, Mike Glover.
It's funny, we didn't even see Jamel Jenkins today. He had 10 yesterday.
That is something.
But because James, had such a good game, and Smythe shot the ball so well, we also didn't see Armand very much. Armand started yesterday, misses 4 threes. Haven't seen him.
Yep. And they didn't miss him. They didn't miss either of them. They've got so many options. And what a luxury for Tim Cluse. If one guy's not producing, you've got somewhere else to turn. Well, Iona scored 90 yesterday. Wasn't quite enough. They're at 94 right now, looking like they will get their first win of the year. A stick back by Hutchison.
So he's a very long athlete who can kind of change a game with his rebounding. You got a jump ball?
No, traveling violation against Momo Jones. Momo takes it right back and then gives it right back. Stole it and then landed out of bounds.
Well, they tried to run that alley-oop play yesterday, and all Iona did was switch it. They tried to run it today. Tried to run it yesterday. Yesterday they threw it, hit the rim. First it was probably a travel on Douglas, and then Momo steps out of bounds.
Stainbrook scores, and Machado will just let the clock expire. 94-88 your final score. Iona at its best is pretty good.
At their best, they're good.